welcome to my training vlog. I'm an active duty Navy senior chief and a powerlifter, and it is time for a little update. Update number one would be that my sweet husband got me a nice vlogging camera, and I'm trying to learn how to use it. So that means moving away from the heavily filtered videos, which sucks for me because that means I gotta love my face, and you know, I don't know if we're there. But we're gonna try to make some better quality content and get more consistent with content making. And learning how to use that camera properly is step one. Update number two is that I am pretty much 10 weeks in to my new meal plan, new diet plan with the nutrition coach. And we're down another pound, maybe a pound and a half. Today actually was a great weigh-in morning after a not so great check-in on Saturday. So strange. The diet is going okay. I'm not as low in calories as I've been in the past still. I'm still pretty high. I'm at like 1700 on non-training days, something like that, 1750, and maybe 18 something on training days. And I'm not really having problems there. It's just still a lot of protein. It's still really high protein, so I'm still struggling to kind of piece that together in ways that make sense. I really desperately need to move towards more solid proteins, which also means fat. It's kind of tough, but I've got to do it because right now, like every protein shake I have is a double scoop, you know? It feels like a lot, so still working on that. But we are down another pound. We're at 184 now. Things are moving slow, super slow, and that is what it is. Update number three is training, and we are in the middle of May, which means I am almost done with the peaking phase. So I just finished out my, I would say 9.5, 9 out of 10 effort week. In the way that I normally structure my blocks using the Juggernaut AI app and then my own modifications, usually the way I attack this week would be to match current records. So let's say that I was in a phase where we were doing 5 reps, right? The second week of training, I would be trying to match all of my previous 5 rep maxes from the years prior. Usually the same thing works for me on the 1x1 season, so peaking season. But this time around, I don't know. I guess things are just pretty darn heavy now. So I went with the program recommendations most of the time. And the program doesn't usually normally make me match my current PRs in this week. They want you to do that in the 10 of 10 week. And for me, my 10 of 10 needs to be more. So my goal is always to exceed what the program recommends. But that's not how this past week went. So this past week, I was pretty much within program recommendations. And for most of my lifts, for squat and bench, I was within 5 pounds of my current max. I did not try, and I did not match my current maxes. That's fine. And those lifts were tough, so probably the smart thing to do. That was squat and bench, and then for deadlift, I came within 10 pounds. I didn't want to put another 5 on there because I was starting to get quite fatigued, but yeah, so all of my lifts, I'm within throwing distance. So the next thing that happens is a deload week, because during the peaking phase, you're prepping for a fake competition, a mock competition. So the next thing is a break, a little bit of a break. I'll still be lifting, but it's not going to be heavy, and it's not going to be like what we were doing. So I'm going to take this deload, and then my fake competition, mock meet, if you will. It's not a real meet, so if I don't do amazing, that's okay. That's that. This brings me to my last update. Hi, Editing Sam here. I realized I forgot to add something when we were talking about training and stuff and changes. One more change that I made last week, pretty much the beginning of May, was I did increase cardio. So I successfully did cardio on a rest day at work. I went to work early, and it's actually pretty enjoyable. Nobody was in that gym, so that's cool. I need to start doing that more regularly. I only did it once during the week, The second day that I was supposed to go to Orange Theory, that I would have had work, I ended up not going, and I slept in because I suck. But I did go to Orange Theory after work, so I didn't totally miss out. The other thing is steps. So my coach only requires 8,000 steps a day. Now 8,000 is the minimum. So on my 2 like rest/off days, those are 8,000, and then the rest of the week the goal is 10,000. So 2 8,000 days, 5 10,000 plus days. That's the goal now, along with increasing cardio. And cardio, last piece, is for like regular training days. I was doing 10 minutes of warm-up and 20 minutes of post-workout cardio, or a 20-minute walk after dinner, 20-ish minutes. Now I'm doing 25 to 30 minutes of post-workout cardio for a total of 35 or 40 minutes of cardio total during like even training days. So, and the difference there is because on my bench days, I do an additional 5 minutes of rowing. So I factored that in. So on like bench days, now we're at 40 minutes. And on non-bench days, now we're at, 35 minutes. So it's a small increase, but it's an increase. And then maybe come June, we'll jack it up. We'll see how I'm responding to even just that little increase. And then if I need to do more, then we will bump it up another 5 minutes. But yeah, cardio, steps, / like a follow-up that I've been wanting to do. And I actually filmed a follow-up in April, at the end of April, I think, or the beginning of April. And immediately after I filmed, some changes happened, and I decided that what I filmed was no longer relevant. So we are talking about periods, we're talking about menstrual health and female health. So if you want to dip out now, see you. Thanks for checking in on me for the rest of the stuff. But as you guys know, because I made a post about it, I had my birth control implant removed in January, and then I've been off birth control since January and the beginning of January. So new year, new body. Since that time, things have fluctuated a little bit. One of the first things was that I lost like interperiod bleeding. I had for years been having spotting, endless spotting in between cycles, and this was before I even went on the implant. So one of the reasons I got the implant is I was hoping to be one of those lucky people that saw their periods pretty much go away. Whereas the other side of that coin are people who said they're constantly bleeding. Well, I was already spotting all the time, so I thought it can't get worse. And then I got the implant and it got worse. So stupid me. For years, I was spotting a lot in between. It had a lot of effects on my life. So inconvenient, so, mentally crappy. So I got it removed, and I have been taking some supplements recommended by a naturopath doctor in San Diego since coming off, right? So January, February, March, I was taking these supplements that are meant to support thyroid health and thyroid function, along with just regular like greens and reds powders, normal athletic subs. So from January, February, March, some things that I noticed was that my cycle locked in right away. My January cycle, February, and March were all as predicted within a couple days, and there was no intermediate bleeding anywhere, which was amazing. It's the first time in years that I actually felt confident in, my tracker and my body, that I can wear the things and I don't need to worry about spotting and not have to wear a pad or, some kind of protection. That was too much. So in April, I ran out of the thyroid supplements that I was taking. At least that's what I associated it with. And then maybe like 7 days before my predicted period, I started spotting, which hadn't happened the months prior. And I was so disappointed and so upset. I thought immediately that it must have been the thyroid pills, because I stopped taking the thyroid subs. And granted, these are not prescription medications. These are just supplements. So I thought me not taking the supplements already had an effect, right? And I had all this bleeding, spotting, and then I had a normal period, like about the same time that I was supposed to have it. So I was super, super frustrated because it wasn't even necessarily like a small amount of spotting. It was a significant amount, but it wasn't, you know, bright, you know, normal cycle blood, not to get disgusting. So as far as my periods go, they got consistent, right? And they're heavy. There's a lot of volume. There's a lot of content, which is gross. And they hurt. They hurt bad. I did not remember much from my teenage periods. But these natural periods are gnarly, which lends me to believe maybe that I am, you know, that I do have PCOS or something, which my naturopath already thought that we could start to move towards that kind of diagnosis. It's tough to medicate in a way that I feel like I get a response. Like I used to just be able to pop a handful of Advil. Not anymore. I need stronger stuff now to make things bearable. So there's that. But now we are in May, and for the second time, for the second cycle in a row now, I am seeing some pre-period activity. And that sucks, because actually the whole month of May I've been back on the thyroid supplements. So once that happened in April, I was spooked, you could say, and pissed off. And I reordered 2 sets of the thyroid stuff that I've been on, because it took me a long time to go through it all, because I was taking less than the recommended dosage. But I was taking it consistently. So I figured 2 sets will get me a long ways with the current pattern that I'm on. But here we are again in May, and again, I'm seeing activity prior to my period. So that sucks. I don't want to go back on birth control, at least not for a while. And yeah, and I lost weight in January pretty easily. I lost like 6 pounds, which corresponds with the weight that I gained when I initially put the implant in. So I feel like I lost my implant weight, you know, right off the bat in January very quickly. And then everything after January has been a fight. It's required a lot of dietary consistency, gym consistency, steps. Like if I'm not on my P's and Q's, my weight's not moving. So I genuinely feel like the 6 pounds that I lost in January came from the shift away from birth control. So cool. Now it's all on me to lose the rest of this weight, right? But I do think there are PCOS elements at work, and I really wish I could get a proper diagnosis. You know, if it's not that, then tell me what's up. Do I just suck at everything? If it weren't for these 2 cycles now of having early stuff happening, I would say that I'm happy, because even though the periods are heavy and they hurt, to me that seems natural. They seem more natural and unpleasant, but naturally unpleasant. And I do think the immediate shift that I experienced in weight was connected to the birth control. It just hasn't been as ongoing as I thought. It's like I thought there was going to be some barn doors opened, and suddenly, you know, 3 years worth of weight was just going to fall off. I'm so ignorant. So for the last 7 days, I started taking something called Berberine. It's been all over the internet. I was doing like 400 milligrams week 1, not on purpose, just because I was only taking it once during the day, and the recommendation is 500 milligrams. And there's some contradictory information out there as far as when to take it. So now I'm taking it twice a day, and I'm at 500 milligrams now. So there's 2 different brands, twice a day. One is my like upstairs bottle, and one is my downstairs bottle with the rest of my supplements. And I'm taking the thyroid meds. The Berberine is supposed to help support glucose levels and help me with the weight loss. A lot of people with PCOS seem to use this medicine or supplement, but it's not regulated, so it's not like, this is not doctor prescribed anything. This is just me trying to poke and prod and find where I can fix my shit, right? So no guarantees, but yeah, first week was minimal dosage, and then this week I have started upping it. So the last 3 days I've been on 500 milligrams, which is the recommended amount. And today I was down some weight, 1.5 pounds. So not to directly correlate them, but maybe it's there. Maybe there's stuff there. It's so hard to say. And I really hope that the spotting I'm seeing is not like last month. That would be so disappointing. My period is not due for 10 days, and here I am again with some spotting happening. I'm quite irritated, but that's where things are at. Main periods have gotten super consistent. They hurt, they're heavy. I'm still taking thyroid supplements, and I'm starting to take Berberine and investigate some other, naturopathic supplementation for possibly attacking thyroid or PCOS symptoms. Weight is still coming off, but very slowly after that initial drop. Mood and emotions, I don't know. I feel like I'm the same, but perhaps I'm seeing some more dramatic shifts. Like, I think I'm quicker to tears than I've been in a while. I think I do get quite emotional on and around my cycle, which it's not that I wasn't emotional to begin with. So extra spicy. I don't know. I'm not sure. And my husband's not here to tell me when I'm being an extra sassy wench. So acne and hair, no different. My face has been stable. I still get little onesie-twosie things, and I'm trying to moisturize better. I use a retinol at night and now a vitamin C serum in the morning, and I clean my face in the shower, and in the morning I rinse with just water. So I'm trying to just follow better habits as far as my face goes. Nothing crazy that I've seen. And then my hair is my hair. I don't think I'm losing as much as I used to in the shower. I used to lose a lot. But again, there's always multiple things at play with me, so it's hard to tie that to something directly. It is a lot less hair. I will say that. It's a lot less hair than I used to lose on the implant, and then on birth control before that I was losing a ton of hair every day in the shower. But I've stopped shampooing daily, but that's been a year. I condition, so it's hard to say. It's hard to say what is doing what in my body. I just hope that I'm moving in a logical direction, and if this is PCOS, I don't know. Because I don't want to go back on birth control, at least not this year. Maybe next year I would consider it. After some significant weight loss, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, last update, unrelated to anything. Take a look behind me. We have finally moved into a room. I've been moved since August out of California to Virginia, and since August I've been living in various states of packery, packed up. Because I'm by myself. My husband's overseas. I'm here by myself. I'm trying to focus on losing weight, which means cleaning, cooking, moving my body, going to the gym, going to work. So as far as the house and my living space, it hasn't been a happy place per se. It's been a really slow process. And that could contribute, if your space is messy, your mind is messy, so maybe maybe there were some blocks there, and now as things are piecing together, I can let go of the physical stress, you know, maybe? I don't know. But this is my new workspace. I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of what I've done in here. I think it's so beautiful. And I'll be excited to show you, but I'm not gonna do that yet. I think I'll do some tour stuff later on, because there's still some guest spaces to put together. My living space is not totally done. And then a new garage gym. God, I cannot wait to build and then show you my new garage gym. So hyped. But for now, this is definitely gonna be our primary vlogging space. I hope you like it. I hope it's so aesthetic. This is my work desk. I've got 2 monitors to the side of me here, and then I've got the entrance to the room over here. But we're not going to do a tour. We're not going to do it. I'm going to avoid, even though I am so ecstatic and I'm so proud of the work in here. We're not going to do it. But we're going to end on that positive note. We're not going to think about the unpleasant menstrual things occurring. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.